Hello and welcome to Lawfully Chaotic. I still always want to say movie phone. Welcome to Lawfully Chaotic, Season 4, Episode 29.
29.
Thank you for joining us or watching after the fact or chatting with us. 3 miles, you win again. You're back on the game. Welcome.
Very prompt.
With me, as always, got it right this time, is Jason Baldrick, the storyteller of TTRPG Academy, and Kristen of Kristen's Epic Adventures.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, 3 miles. Hello. For G Martelli joined in Instagram.
I think I watched. I'm trying to think. What was your latest video you posted?
Saw something
Kristen.
of the basic mechanics of Wild Sea.
Yeah. That was kind of cool. That was cool.
Yeah, I can't wait
like
to play
that.
that game.
Yeah.
That game sounds really neat.
I haven't even heard of it. Wild Sea?
Wild Sea.
SEAC.
SEA.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Like,
So
you
like
know,
the
you know, like
planet.
what your boat goes on the sea.
However, this
inland
world
sea.
has no water on it at all. Everything has been taken over by lush greenery.
Yeah, the forest.
And then
That
you
was pretty cool.
you travel around in boats on top of the trees that have like chainsaws on the front to like cut through the tree limbs.
that's very odd.
Yeah, the mechanics are really cool. I'm really liking it. This is one of the few
Interesting.
books that I'm actually like started at the very beginning and I'm just reading the whole book like all the way through.
Okay.
Normally I just try to like get down the gist of the rules and how to make a character and then I look stuff up as I need to. But this one I'm
Yeah.
actually trying to read cover to cover and I really like it.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll have to
it's
take a look at that.
Felix Isaacs, I think, is the writer, and it was published by MythWorks.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh, Wild Sea. Check it out.
yeah.
He
I
froze.
think of something that went on this week.
Oh well, hello. Okay, so you may remember that last we spoke about Critical Role. I was like, I'm not watching that. I don't like Brandon Lee Mulligan. I'm not watching that. I watched it. I said I'm gonna give him another shot.
Okay.
Maybe, okay. I freaking have watched it 3 times now. I loved episode 1. Every time
Really?
I always rewatch it because I always miss something. And I was on my 3rd watch through like tonight after work, and I'm like, oh, see, there's another piece I just
Yeah,
caught.
I
And
already
missed the first
cheated, and I
time.
had ChatGPT break down the episode for me.
Nice.
Okay.
Nothing
So I
wrong
will
with that.
admit.
Nothing wrong with that. It was like 4 hours. So
So as long as you brought up Critical Role, so I watched the first 20 minutes. Okay. So this
Okay.
assessment is based on
Wait,
that
we-
little.
are we committing to no spoilers here, or are we going to warn people that yes, there
Oh
will be
no spoilers, because nothing I
no
can even
spoilers.
say is really a spoiler. So all
Yeah.
I really got was just a feel for Brandon Lee Mulligan, for just a few minutes. I told you just something about him. I just
Well,
rubs me
I
the wrong way.
found
Also.
him. I didn't mind him this time because I feel like what I don't like most of the time is he can be a little like over the top,
Yes.
crazy, and
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if it was just this particular episode or if he's going to just kind of tone himself down a little bit to DM for Critical Role, which I wouldn't mind. But I thoroughly enjoyed episode
It
1.
was really funny.
Colin says new rant possibility.
It's funny because one of my players who watched it was like, I don't know how Brendan Mulligan manages 3 tables. I'm like, how about 8 tables a week for like 5 years?
Oh.
How about that skill
So
set?
okay, so so what I was going to say is, sorry, I dropped my makeup sponge. I was painting for this. I'm working on a figure right now, and it is turning out really well. But I was working on part of it; it's a separate part, and I like really fucked it up, so I had to repaint over part of it. But anyway, so now, granted, again, this is 20 minutes worth of watching, but I will say he did not bug me at all. I thought to myself,
Yeah.
oh, if this is the way he's going to be,
Yeah.
I can probably be down with this.
For the whole 4 hours, he didn't bug me.
And then I got sidetracked naturally, and I didn't watch it. But a friend of mine told me basically, and I'm not going to give a spoiler, but he told me what the episode was about.
Yeah.
And
I
I
thought
gotta
it was
be
a really
honest.
interesting way to start a campaign.
Really,
Oh
I don't
my
even
God!
know.
It was Skyrim, people.
I don't even want to
It
watch
was
it. now.
Skyrim. It was.
I don't
the
care. That's
wagon,
fine.
The near death. Oh, I hated it. It was the worst
No,
episode of
You
ever.
hate
I've said this before, and I'm going to
Ugh.
say it again. And people are going to hate me, maybe, but I just, I'm just over all of the feels.
Oh, I'm not over the feels. I'm okay with that.
It's just,
I like
it's
that part.
just a constant barrage of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to shut up before
I
cancel.
heard somebody say this
Gaming.
the other day that it's
No,
not.
it's
It's
there's
not
too
really
much
like
emotional
watching.
stuff.
It's not
There's too-
watching an actual play. It's watching a
There's-
TV show
Yes.
because they're actors. So
It
they
has
want
become,
feels
when
in
it started, Critical Role was like you were spying on a home game with a bunch of friends. Now it feels like they're going out of their way. Let me finish. It feels like they're going out of their way more often than not to force you to like super identify with these characters through these really, really deep emotions, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but to me,
Well, no,
it's
actually,
just,
you are
it's
saying
just
it's bad.
constant. It's constant. And they started out with that again.
It's like
and it's just like,
very
you
highly
know,
emotional through the whole thing.
I really, it's just starting to bug me, and it feels like it is.
That's
It is.
okay.
I know it's
it just
not.
sounds
script-
like it's not for you. That's all.
I don't think it is.
Sometimes some shows
It is,
aren't.
well, it is their brand, but it should. And I don't have a problem with it when it happens naturally, but I don't feel like it happens naturally anymore. I feel like it is just thrown at you time and time again, and I think it's actually a little disingenuous now, rather than, it used to be like people are like, there were times where I'm like, wow, I can't believe I actually care about an RPG character so much. And now it's like, if I feel like if I don't feel that way right off the bat, I'm doing it wrong.
I think there's still some.
So it's just my take. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a very good take, but that's okay.
Okay, fuck you.
That's not true. Everybody can have their own take.
How's that for a well thought out answer?
Everybody's feelings are valid.
I love all the characters. I think all the characters are great.
Let me
finish.
I'm just going to wrap up. I'm just going to wrap up by saying I will watch it. I will watch it so I can make an informed decision, and then we'll see if my opinion is the same.
Kristen, hopefully he'll watch it longer than 30 minutes, but we'll see.
You can ask ChatGPT to summarize it for you.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I did it for dialogue purposes because I asked it.
What the hell is that?
It's the new rant cam because it's too hard to make overlays for each one of us now.
I'm so pissed off in there.
So for narrative purposes, because I didn't want to create spoilers, I asked ChatGPT to create a narrative summary so I could refer to it and talk about characters, talk a little bit about why I mostly liked it. I'm being a little hyperbolic when I'm being emotional about it, but there's two things that bothered me about it. The one thing was, as I enjoyed watching it and got to the end of it and realized that they're obviously going to have a serious campaign this time around, I began to realize how much now I do not like the Dungeon Dudes.
Really?
They did a media blitz about how much they want to see more serious campaigns. And I'm like, well, of course you're going to say that because you're supporting the Critical Role new season. It's like, just
and
stop.
they have their show with Deborah Ann Wool coming.
Yeah, it's like, just stop, guys. Stop, with, you don't need to gaslight me. Just do your show, do your content, whatever you want to do, and have fun with it. Don't like get online and like, yeah, I know there's a lot of creators out there that are like doing really kind of funny and kind of light and chill campaigns that people are really enjoying. But I would really like to see a more serious campaign. And then like 2 weeks later, season 1 or season 4 drops. And I'm just like, you know, is the money in your pocket overflowing yet? Are you like sold out yet? I mean, it's just tired of it. Anyways, that's my rant.
Well, I think that there's a lot of different shows out there people can watch, though, depending on what they're looking for.
Well,
I mean, it does kind of suck if you're like really looking forward to Critical Role and then the campaign.
Well, no, it has nothing to do. That's not my point. My point is they're obviously promoting. They're saying they want to see more serious shows because they're partnered. Yeah, they're partnered with them. You know, and I just get tired of that.
Oh, did you see that their Dungeons of Drakkenheim just got released for Daggerheart?
Yes, I saw that.
I thought that was interesting.
However, I enjoyed the homage to Skyrim. I enjoyed a lot of the cultural cross-referencing. I enjoyed clearly Brendan is bringing in the idea of, you know, what you enjoy in media culture and pop culture is going to be a part of this game, right? So I like that part. I really enjoyed the tables moving all the time. I really like that. I loved the movement from the different groups, and you got to pick the characters that you like. And it kind of creates a situation where you're like, oh, I wonder if those characters are ever going to meet, right? You get into the situation where I wonder if that character is ever going to meet that character, right? Because you're watching these people swap in and out of seats, and they're, you know, and to Brian's point, it's almost like they're cutting from scene to scene to scene. The reason why I don't mind the whole obvious acting for some of them, there's also a lot of improv, because I always forget her name, the black girl with the glasses and the long hair. Yes. Gabrielle. I loved her improv with the other character where she was getting drunk and they were having a lot of fun with that improv. You could tell that was improv. None of them can hold a candle to Robbie. Like when Robbie acts,
she bugs the absolute fucking shit out of me. That I will say.
Robbie
asks everything I say just because you fucking disagree with me, dude.
That's kind of the point. Go with it, bro. Robbie puts them all to shame.
Robbie is fantastic.
Amazing actor, and he does such a great job of playing his character, both within the kind of actor vibe, but also with a lot of chill vibe.
He is one of my favorites, actually.
Sam never fails to disappoint. You realize who he's playing, Kristen, right? Who it is, what it is.
Who he's playing?
Well, he's playing a Nepo baby. He's playing a Nepo baby is what he's playing.
Sure.
If you really go back and look and you break down his character, he's playing a Nepo baby. I mean, Sam has looked at popular culture and go, you know what? I'm going to roll a character that's going to be a Nepo baby, and it's going to be fucking hysterical. And yet it did. He did. You know, and I'm just like, he never creates a character for the sake of the character's value. He always creates a character because he enjoys playing that character. And as I think people decide they don't like certain characters, then they're going to decide when and what they watch. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like maybe that's the kind of vibe this season is like, they really wanted to provide a lot more watching opportunity for the variety of different types of people that want to watch. Because, you know, episode 1 of season 4 dropped on YouTube. Monday? They usually drop every Monday on YouTube the following Thursday.
They're on Beacon right away. They're on Beacon right away and YouTube the following.
Yeah. So as far as I could tell, when I checked it yesterday, they were at 1.5 million views on YouTube.
Well, of course they are. It's fucking Critical Role.
No, you can go back to other seasons and it's very different. Like you go back to other seasons, like you go back to season 2, like episode 5, and it's maybe got 2 or 3 million views. And that's been sitting there for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Well,
data's data. If you look at the viewership this time and what they've done differently this time, they're definitely capturing a bigger audience. So their plan worked.
But they have a bigger audience because it's 5 years later.
Well, plus I think they also brought in all the people that are Brendan Lee Mulligan fans.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
100%. And so I would actually say they're doubling their audience right now.
You know what I am interested to see. You mentioned, and you're very right. By bringing in so many people and having 3 different tables and catering to different people's, watching what they're interested in watching, I'll be interested to see if the tables play any differently or if they all fall into the same trap of what I mentioned earlier. I like I said, it's like, I don't know. More often than not, I feel like episodes are just so deep and so heavy and so emotionally taxing. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's no place for that in RPG. There absolutely is.
Yes,
but I just feel like it used to be a natural thing. I feel like it used to be a very natural thing, and I feel like now it's just like every 3rd episode somebody is in tears. It's like it doesn't have to be that heavy.
I know, right? I
all
think
the time.
Laura Bailey had everybody like crying in that first episode. It's like, oh my god.
Well, she's also playing Tinkerbell, so that's definitely going to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and again, this is my opinion. Obviously, my opinion is mine. It doesn't have to be anybody else's.
Sure.
So, it's just, it's losing interest for me because of that.
I got you.
Because it's like I said, every 3rd or 4th episode, it's like this super heavy emotional shit, and my first instinct is to shut it off, which sucks. I don't want to do that. I want to hear the story.
One of the things I tend to do, I go back and forth between, oh my god, it's Thursday, I want to try to like watch it, or I can't wait to like watch it tomorrow morning as soon as it's, because I'll like I think my Twitch, I use my Amazon Prime Twitch subscription for their Twitch channel, so I can like listen to it while I'm at work the very next day. Or do I want to like wait a couple weeks and like watch something else, watch more lighthearted stuff, and then be like, okay, now I'm ready to dive back into some of my backlog of Critical Role, because I know it might be, like sometimes it's as fun as it is to watch. Sometimes the story is kind of a downer,
That's what I mean. And pair that with a 4-hour episode, it feels like work watching it. That's my point.
Maybe you should listen to it instead of watching it. Would that help if you just listen to it?
No, because then my mind, if I'm not looking at it, my mind, unless I'm sitting there doing nothing and just staring at the walls, listening, my mind wanders, and then I actually miss the story. So that's I think that is what you kind of summed it up for me in that, like I said, it feels like more often than not, it feels like it's work for me to watch a full episode, and I don't like that. It shouldn't be that way.
I get it. It's kind of like a soap opera, honestly. Kind of. It's like a, you know what I mean?
Right?
It's very dramatic. Like who killed?
Yeah, and drama is good. I'm not saying get rid of the drama. I'm just saying the balance for me has just gone. It's
right?
one. For me, it's gotten very much one-sided.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have
only
to
the first episode.
Slapstick. It doesn't have to be slapstick.
Sure. Maybe you would just like to tune into the combat table when they do the combat table. Wasn't one of them supposed to be combat? One of them supposed to be, I can't remember the other two. One's a combat theme table.
Yeah, one's rogue, one's politics, and one's combat.
One's like a lore type.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I'm afraid I'm going to get bored with the.
How does that work?
I don't really like.
How does that work?
It's not that it works any particular way. It's just the theme of their characters. It's not that it works that way. It's just that their characters have taken on that thematic approach.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like that table exists and you can only be political or you can only be lore based. It's just that the theme of their characters kind of take on that approach.
Okay.
Right. I imagine there's going to be like a combat
anyway. I'm not gonna obviously I'm not gonna form this opinion on
so worked up. See that?
On
He's
20
so
minutes.
worked up.
Don't
his
push
face.
buttons,
Look at his
Ethan.
face; it's all pink and
Stop
getting
it.
purple, and he's getting the little pulsing vein up there, the temple. Look, he's an Oompa Loompa.
He did look like an Oompa Loompa.
I'm gonna watch a few episodes so I can I can have an informed decision. But it's just the way I've been feeling about Critical Role for a few months now. So, and now I'm probably never going to get more Critical Role work. So
the vibe from Critical Role is definitely changed since campaign 1. I mean, I came in right after they started. Yeah,
and I understand. I mean, obviously, the core group. I understand they can't. It's not sustainable what they were doing. They burn the fuck out. So I get why they brought everybody in. I get why they went to the West Marches format for the different tables. I understand why Mercer took a back seat and is now not a back seat, but is now playing. And Brendan Lee Mulligan I'm okay with all of that. I get it. Even though it could be a little bit of a shock to the system for a hardcore fan, but I just feel like it's too it's trying too hard to prove that role-playing games can be deep and emotional and whatnot, and they are. We know they are because they've already proven that in previous campaigns.
True, but I think they're just doing what they love to do best because they're actors.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Is another part of it, I think, because
not to mention
when they first started, it's like their big thing was voicing video games and anime, and D&D was like their side thing. And then I think they were kind of like, hey, wait a minute, we could make D&D our main thing because it's like a giant thing of improv.
No, it was even worse than that for Matt. Matt was like, I mean, D&D was his hobby, was his decompression. It was his red pill or blue pill. He actually didn't want to go professional with the D&D hobby.
Yeah, he
was very adamant in his intro of episode 1 that he struggled for months to make the decision to potentially take on the professional act of D&D. Because to him, D&D was him and his friends getting together and decompressing and practicing mental health and doing all of that.
He talked about his fear of it becoming work and losing that.
Sure. But that is ultimately what they decided to do. I mean, I don't know how they do video game voiceovers.
Look, what they have accomplished.
I think the critters kind of decided it for them.
Yeah. What they've accomplished is freaking miraculous. I mean, it truly is.
Yeah.
I mean, there is oh fuck. Shit. Somebody, Matt told me today, he read something that Critical Role is now, there's Critical Role costumes at Halloween headquarters.
Oh yeah, I just saw one for Spirit Halloween. There's like
Spirit Halloween,
Critical Role characters.
Okay, if you're at Spirit Halloween, you pretty much accomplished what you set out to accomplish. So it really is amazing what they have built and what they have done. And of course, I'm going to play devil's advocate. There's going to be, and I don't want to say growing pains because it's not like, I mean, they are still growing, but they are obviously established, but formative pains, you know what I mean? And figuring out things like that. So, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Critical Role because I will always be a fan because it really is amazing what they have done for themselves, for the hobby, for others who play it. But
I mean, I don't know if I'd refer to it as miraculous.
Through the lens of an RPG nerd who started playing in his basement with 3 friends.
Well, but that's not I mean, it's not a new story. I mean, it's like TSR, their first 10 years were considered miraculous as well. I mean, it's like you can go through the pantheons of businesses coming into existence. I think what's unique about their ascendancy to this current position that they're in is that Critical Role itself is a media empire that is utilizing its ability to be that media empire to leverage the creation of games. That's completely reverse of the formula. That formula is very much reverse. If you go back and look at TSR, they built all the games first, then tried to create a media empire, and it really didn't work all that great. We didn't get a lot of good movies, so the 80s and 90s, they made that attempt after their 10-year sprint. But I think what Critical Role did more accurately is build the media first and then see if the games you want to build have any traction or any appeal, see if people like them or whatever, and I think that was wise. I think that was smart because we're in an era of media reality. I mean, as long as, how many billions of people have a phone in their pocket now? I mean,
yeah, and obviously the time is right, but still, it's pretty amazing what they did to bring the game that's been around for 50 years to the forefront mainstream inside of a handful of years.
Yeah, and I think
they had the right formula and at the right time.
Absolutely.
You got the timing of role-playing games getting huge again from Stranger Things, and the fact that they're all friends and they're all actors, so they had a lot of key things that kind of all came together at once.
Absolutely.
I think if they didn't do it, somebody else would have.
Other people were already trying to, yeah.
But would they have done it as well? That's the thing that they did. They took advantage of the timing and the situation and what they had going, but they did a very good job of building it and curating it. And not a lot of people would have been able to do that. So I do think it is pretty amazing what they've built. But
yeah.
One of the things I wish they would have done for this new season is one of the things that made Sam a lot of fun to watch play is because it was his first time playing D&D in season 1, right? Mm-hmm. So it was really fun to watch that unfold for him. And I think pretty much everyone at their table has played the game. So I'm like, it would have been nice if they had 4 or 5 players that could be popular in the media space.
Oh, I'd never played.
Yeah,
but have never played before. That would have been really cool.
Everybody they brought in is hardcore invested in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's like I'm watching, I'm going, what's missing for me? I'm like, what, that new player. For me, the best vibe in the world is starting up a table with all new players and half of them are playing for the first time. I mean, it's just it's just such a cool vibe. It's fun watching the meta play out. It's fun watching the discovery. Mm-hmm. We're on session 49 of my Wednesday night group. So we've already been playing for a year. They're only level 8. So that's been a lot of fun, keeping the leveling kind of grounded to the story. And the whole story is them just wandering the world of Faerun, and there's no real major arc. They're just stumbling into things. A newer player that's hardly ever played the game before killed Jarl Axel in the game. And it was totally by accident. It totally didn't make any sense why she did it. And it was the perfect new player move. It was just perfect, and I love that vibe, that idea that a new player brings a lot more kind of, animus to the idea of the game, and the real joy of learning your character sheet and having some success and being angry at your dice for the first time because they probably never thought they'd be angry at their dice. Why would I ever be angry at my dice? It doesn't make any sense,
I never knew the dice had a soul and could get pissed off at you.
I had a player Tuesday. He couldn't roll over a 5 all day. And there was really nothing I could do about that.
This Will Wheaton. They need to get Will Wheaton back on.
There have been rumors.
He's going to be on Deborah Ann Roll's show.
Yeah. There's been rumors he's trying to bring himself back into the space. I was really surprised to see that they did a interview episode on Geek and Sundry. I thought that was kind of cool that they, they did a group conversation about the new season. I thought that was pretty cool. They definitely did a lot more kind of interview work with a lot of creators that I didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
And it was fun to be introduced to new creators and new people kind of talking about what they do. And it's like, I just started up a Tuesday table. I've got 2 people in it, and I'm working on getting at least two more before we start. And it's going to be all about the Age of Restoration, right? So it's going to take place in Exandria, but every single thing that happened is going to now be either legend or canon, depending on what the table decides. So that everything we do in the Tuesday night table is going to be about just brand new stuff going on in Exandria, and have a lot of fun with it. And I think I'm interested in seeing Brendan's world. I want to see if I like his world. It seems one of the things I really like about all my tables is that a lot of players create their own content for the table, and it's really fun to take what they create and insert it into the world and let it be part of the world. Mm-hmm. When a world's fully done, it doesn't always feel interesting to me, which is why in my Faerun world, it's the year 1501, Faye's Reckoning. It's everything after the movie, right? So the idea is that the movie's the jumping off point for the timeline. So anything that the players think of, they can make it up themselves. They can introduce it. They can come up with ideas for it. I mean, Brian and the other players for Sunday, I mean, they're just running all over Faerun right now, trying to, do what they're doing, and it's really fun. This is where I'll
chasing around those bastards, the Castellaners.
They're just such good villains. But I will say that this season feels a lot more scripted, and I'm unsure about that. The season feels there. I can identify the improv, and I can identify the adaptive moments. And I think the reason why I can identify those so well is because everyone else feels scripted, and I'm not sure what that means for me yet. So I'm gonna watch it probably till about episode 20. I want to see what the combat episodes are like. I want to see how much they embrace 2024 rules. I'm eager to see their homebrew. I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you, Chris. And I'll agree with you, Kristen. Brendan seemed a lot more calm. He wasn't nearly as expositional as I was afraid he was going to be.
I was worried because I was like, boy, here we go. And I
told you that aspect. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I said, I'm like, wow, I think
maybe it honestly depends on who he's running for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm wondering if having so many different tables is toning him down. Like maybe doing that much exposition for 16, 14, or how many players they have, maybe he's realizing that is exhausting. Maybe if you have that many players playing, let them do all the fucking work. I mean, that's what players are there for. They're there to have fun and, figure things out and do things and ask questions and challenge themselves and use their skills and be their characters. If, you spend too much time telling them what to do, it can, it's like that can get exhausting by itself. And when you go back and you look at Age of Exandria or whatever that was, the summer one that they did, Exandria Unlimited. When you go back and look at Unlimited, he does a lot of telling them what to do, and that formed my opinion pretty early on with him. And I know that's partially shaped by the way he runs his other channels, because some of them are comedic, some of them are clearly designed to tell people what to do, but I don't think he always realizes that he's doing it. As you go down the road, you open the door, or as you go down the road, you look through the window. And I'm like, he didn't say he wanted to look through the window.
Yeah, right.
I don't understand what you're doing. He didn't say that, and I'm like, that reminds me of old school behaviors of the DM basement trolls that mostly just told players what to do.
Railroading. Yeah.
Not even railroading, really.
No,
it's just,
forcing your story to go in a specific.
Yeah. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. One shots are railroads. They should be. That's what they're designed for, right? You put guardrails in place. You put a story in place, and you want people to have fun within the vacuum of that one shot. But if you're going to run a whole world and run it in very kind of like sandbox nature, and you're going to claim to be doing West Marches, you need to do a lot less telling people what to do. I mean, you really need to let them do the exploring and, have the fun of the event.
Right.
Well, but like you, Brian, I'm holding off on my final critique until maybe about 20 more episodes.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is it's unfair to state that with 20 minutes and an explanation of
but it sure is fun.
Friend.
Sure makes for great content.
And you know what? If the campaign is meant to be heavy and serious, that's fine. Then that means it's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it starts off
they had some
fucking heavy and
serious
at
first. And I think that
they should have some light moments, though.
I think at the wake, Kristen. I think at the wake, right? I mean, you saw a lot of improv, a lot of funny, a lot of kind
my understanding is, from what Matt told me, the entire episode was the wake.
Off and on.
Not 100%.
Yeah, not the entire episode. It was off and on.
There was another location that was added in.
I would compare it to
maybe that was part of it too for me. Is I love, not obviously not every campaign has to start. You're in a tavern and you see a mysterious guy in the corner. Not every campaign needs nor should start that way. I love a campaign that's like, you wake up with no clothes on in a dark jail cell.
Yeah, something
you can't remember it.
Weird. Yeah.
But I think maybe the fact that it started with such like so heavy for me, maybe that also kind of
3 Miles brings up a really good point. I mean, the fact that there's a cleric in the campaign that's all Riz and no Wiz, like when we saw, I think it's Scanlan's cleric or Regal's cleric. I think when I saw the character
Scanlan.
When I saw the character sheet pop up,
Freudian slip. It's Scanlan.
Well, no, not really. I mean, he adjusted the character later on to be more bardic, and it made more sense. But like here he is at level 3, and he built a cleric that is like super high charisma and virtually no wisdom. And I think that has a lot to do with the way Brendan runs his world, and I think they're going to develop a new way for a cleric to kind of exist in that world, because there's no gods.
Point. What's your thoughts on starting at level 3?
With 2024, I think it was unnecessary. I think they should have started at level 1. I think that is how you stay true to the 2024 rules. Is by starting at level 1. And I think it gives them the opportunity to truly decide if they love their character or not, because they get, 3 whole levels, level 1, level 2, and then into level 3 to decide if they really love their character. And I think if one of those players decides they don't love their character, they should really, highlight that. They should prove that you can do all the prep work in the world you want. You could do what you think is all the right moves all you want. But if you start hating your character, why play? I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, I thought that was an odd decision.
Did you guys watch the cooldown? Because they posted the cooldown.
No, I'm watching that. Too. I'm watching that tonight.
He kind of explained why he chose to drop them into that type of situation.
Into level 3.
What was
not level 3. Why it was awake? Why episode 1 was like awake?
Oh, I imagine it's all storyline.
I'm sure there was a reason for it. Yeah, I'm not saying that it
wasn't necessarily like for the story arc.
I would like to know
how
what
do I
the
get
reason...
all these people who don't know, all these characters that don't know each other together in a situation that's not, hey, we all met in a tavern or whatever.
Well, the wake is the tavern, right? I mean, the wake is the tavern for all intents and purposes.
That's fine. Yeah. I also am way past the years of everybody knows each other when you start out. I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I liked the fact that it wasn't just you're a band of adventurers going out on a quest. You know, like
That's
some of
what I
these
mean.
characters don't like each other.
Yeah, that's what I
Right.
mean. No,
Which I
that
thought was
that
kind of
aspect-
cool that
that aspect
they're
was
not all
great.
friends going in on some quest
Yeah.
together.
But once
Some of them don't like
again,
each other.
I will state, you know, I think one of the things they probably did in preparation for the campaign is all the players at the table got to talk about whether or not they wanted to know each other. And that was probably in there somewhere, because as my tables age, like, you know, as my some of my tables are now 5-6 years old. They're on their third campaign. I kind of let them decide that, you know, I kind of let them decide that. Do you want to know each other or not? And in some cases, they love the idea of already knowing each other, because then they get to just springboard into the adventure and take away some of the muddy water of trying to figure out why they should know each other. Sometimes that can be frustrating to players.
I actually, come to think of it, in your campaign that I'm playing in, the Sunday one.
Yeah.
So it's 4 halflings and me. No, 3 halflings.
3 halflings.
3 halflings.
Three halflings and a tiefling walk into a bar.
Yeah. And they all knew each other. And I came in, I started that campaign late. They were already like 7th level, or no, 4th.
4th. Yeah.
So I came in late and they were already in a bunch of trouble, escaping from Waterdeep. So Jason slotted me in, and given the background of my character, I knew one of them. I had known him for years, and just haven't talked to him in a while, and ended up, I'm a rogue wizard. So I have contacts throughout the city and fences.
With the smuggler background.
Smuggler, right.
Yeah, smuggler background.
He reached out to me and I helped them get out of the city. And his character was the only one that I knew, right? And I hadn't seen him for a while either. Mm-hmm. So I started traveling with them to help them out. And fast forward to now, because of the decisions that he's made with his character, which are freaking awesome. He's a warlock and he's got this weird-ass patriot. Still don't know what it is. But he's got this, and he's really playing it well, because he's really getting into this thirst for power and shit. And he's got this decrepit, desiccated fucking pinky or something that he keeps whipping out. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? So anyway, through some of his decisions, my character now actually has had a couple of arguments with him, and is more in agreement with one or two or both of the other characters because of the decisions his character has made. So it's been really cool to start from that standpoint of not knowing them
and getting to know them.
And getting to know them, and actually kind of changing my views on them because of character decisions. So I personally enjoy when a party does not know, when everybody doesn't know each other. There may be a couple here that know each other, a couple here, that type of thing. So I think it opens up a lot of cool possibilities in that regard. So.
Nice.
It's very cool. I wanted to mention that, Jason.
It's been a fun campaign. I mean,
it has.
What level are you guys now? 14?
14, yeah.
14. And we're not, I mean, I think I slated the campaign for about 140 sessions. And I think we're on 65 or 67, session 65, 67. So we're about halfway through the campaign at this point.
If we're chasing these fuckers around for another 70 some or 80 some odd episodes,
no. When the Castellanta arc concludes, wait till you meet who the real bad guys are. That's going to be a lot of fun.
One thing I think I've recently realized is I don't think I like long-term campaigns anymore. I like the medium-length ones. I don't like, I don't mind a one-shot, but once a year. I don't care how many times you've had to like cancel or reschedule or whatever, but once like a full calendar year goes by, I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. I want to play something different.
I think one of the things that I like to do to avoid that pitfall is all the tables, with the exception of the Sunday table, because they've been playing so long together, I didn't have a chance to introduce it, but a lot of my newer tables that kicked off less than a year ago, they're all playing alternate characters as well. So within the campaign and the story, they're not locked into a single character for a long time.
Yeah.
They actually have alts that are playing in parallel to the campaign, but contribute to the campaign differently. Therefore, I find that most people don't like long-term campaigns because they don't want to be locked into that character for a long time. They want to they want to experiment with other characters.
For me is the character, but part of it is also I'd want to play like a different system. You know what I mean? I'll get like
you're a little unique that way. Most people that I interact with, they really don't give a shit about other systems. They only want to play D&D. Like that's the very nature of my job, right? They seek me out and they go, "Oh, you're a professional D&D game master. You're exactly what I'm looking for." And there's been times that I've offered up alternate systems. They're like, "Oh, what are you offering that to me for? I don't give a shit about that system."
Right. I get just as excited about trying different systems as I do about like, okay, I'm do too, the story. Let's play something else.
I do too, but I'm also happy to keep playing the same system. I will agree with you. Playing different characters is awesome, and different storylines. Jason and I have talked a lot. I think it was probably mostly before you started joining us, but we talked a lot about kind of the anthology approach
to storytelling. Also.
So, you play maybe 3, 4, 5 levels.
Yep.
And then that arc closes.
Yeah.
And then you have the option of maybe introducing a new character. Maybe some people want to keep their own character. So the party either stays the same, slightly changes, and then it's off to a new adventure. So it's more, arc driven rather than campaign and episodic.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying like the whole thing has to end. If like an arc can conclude, and then it's like, hey, let's put this game on pause and go try this system and play this for a little bit, and then we'll come back to this one after a little while.
Well, now one of my groups did enjoy playing a 4-part Daggerheart series. They had a lot of fun with that.
Nice.
They may have had too much fun because they keep asking me, okay, when's that Daggerheart table coming around?
Did you see they just dropped the Kickstarter for the card packs, the Daggerheart class card packs?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Once again, it's troubling because when they finished campaign 3, a lot of people were looking forward to the Age of Restoration and to see what kind of content that would bring to the Exandria world. And when they found out season 4 was in Brendan's world, even though it's in the same universe, they're not really sure if it's going to be tied into Exandria at all. They're not sure because obviously with plane shifting and the Astral Sea, magic can tie worlds in. It's not that hard. But I've got a lot of people out there that are like, we want to do Age of Restoration. We want to, we want to be in Exandria after everything's done and see what the world's like. And you can't really find any published content about Brendan's world right now. There's a little bit of Wikipedia stuff on one of the fantasy wiki or on the Critical Role wiki.
Okay.
But it's not fully fleshed. It's not because obviously he's going to want to turn it into a book. He's going to want to.
I was just going to say,
sell it. There's a whole formula behind what they're doing. I understand the formula. Not everybody understands the formula, let alone really appreciates the idea of the formula. But going back to your other point, Bri, about the serious nature, the reason why I'm mainly agreeing with you about why I'm a little not that interested in a serious campaign right now is because the world fucking sucks right now. The world is serious, right? The world is kind of depressing. The world is serious. The world is emotional. And I'm just like, I want to kind of watch
lighthearted campaign.
Yeah, I kind of want a diversion from that. I want to watch, now I get it. Brendan is obviously establishing the idea of the rebellion. I get it, right? This rebellious idea. But, sorry, I think the reason why the lighthearted parts of the show or the episode were popping for me is because I was like, I like that vibe. Yeah.
Well, they just did Age of Umbra too, and that was also very dark.
Yeah, that was too dark for me. I didn't like it. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
but
It was
to
very
me,
dark. Now we got more dark.
there's a difference. That was dark thematically. That wasn't dark.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in either or. I'm not interested in serious. I'm not interested in dark.
That's
I
fine.
want lighthearted,
Me
jovial.
personally, I had no
kind of-
problem with Age of Umbra because that's like a dark theme, but it wasn't a heavy emotional load. But yeah, you're right. That is definitely part of it. It's like I don't want to deal with more of that shit. I deal with it every fucking day when I look at my news app.
There's somebody that I watch all the time. I enjoyed Dork Tales for that. Dork Tales,
absolutely. Dork Tales is great.
Plays a lot of lighthearted stuff.
Six-sided dice. They're a lot of fun
too. I like.
I think maybe that's probably also why I just absolutely loved Dungeon Crawler Carl. Also,
yeah, it's lighthearted,
and that also had some really serious aspects to it, different character aspects in their stories. But it didn't feel like that was the purpose for the story. It was fun. It was hysterical. It was creative. It was different. That was woven in very naturally, and I just absolutely loved it.
Yeah. That's why go ahead.
No, I'm done.
I was gonna say, sometimes that's why I mean, Glass Cannon Network can play some serious dark stuff, but not too only really if they're playing.
But their funny is funny. When they do funny,
they are just funny ass people. Like I went to at least 2 of their shows at Gen Con, and my face hurt from laughing after both shows because it was hysterical.
See,
I have so funny.
I have not done that with Critical Role in years.
Maybe you should watch some Glass Cannon.
I probably should.
They play a lot of. Well, they're not. Their stuff was all Pathfinder, which is why I didn't watch their main campaign.
I'm not a Pathfinder person.
They're switching to Shadow Dark, but I don't know if I want to watch that either. But it's the shows I watched. One was a Call of Cthulhu, and one was Delta Green, and they were just freaking hilarious. It's like they make the Gen Con ones funny. You know?
Yeah, I like Delta Green. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
I liked that one. That was fun.
That was the Antarctic one. Is that I sat in the front row for that one. I loved that.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, they just vibe really well too. They're just all freaking. I mean, they're also all actors, but they're hilarious and they play off of each other so well. And you can tell that they're like really good friends outside of the game and everything. And they're just really funny.
Maybe,
crack me up.
Maybe what it is like when you have professional actors, when they play something so deep like that in a setting that is not normally meant to be that deep or didn't start with those intentions, maybe then it's more apparent that they're like acting. And role-playing games shouldn't seem like you're acting.
Right.
Well, I know that for a while there were a couple specific podcast studios. I think there was one called Black Dice or something like that. That they edited the hell out of the podcast. So it was you couldn't call it an actual play game because they edited it so much that they edited it into a story as opposed to actual play.
Oh.
Okay.
And I was like, in the middle of the story,
dice rolls?
in the middle of the story, suddenly they're rolling dice, but you can hear the clip edits. Like you could hear it just like you could tell that it was a very heavily produced podcast. Like it was heavily produced. And I'm like, see, there's no room for adaptation. There's no room for improv. There's no room. I want to hear like somebody's microphone go to shit, or I want to hear somebody go, oh my God, I got to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I like that stuff. To me, that's what people are doing when they actually play, or they're in their microphone going, oh, this pizza's really good. Oh, sorry. It's like, to me, that's what playing the game was always about, was like that moment in time where everything at the table is being interrupted by real life from time to time. And then it kind of forces you to have to refocus on what you're doing. and you get to watch other players banter about that player, and they make fun of each other, and I think when that lighthearted existence happens, it makes the drama more real and more interesting, if that makes sense.
It does make perfect sense to me.
It's like listening. I need to do it more often. I keep forgetting to do it. I love Drunks and Dragons. Drunks and Dragons is so funny because they start off with all the best intentions at the beginning of their session, and then they're just fucking hammered by the end of their session.
Boy.
They are just hammered.
I told you. I think the bottom line is, does it feel forced or does it feel natural?
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it's turning me on, because it feels forced now.
Ooh, it's turning him off. We need to figure out how to turn Brian.
I said off. Did I say turning on? I said turning off.
No, it sounded like you were saying off, on. Sounded like you were going multiple directions with that.
I try to remember too
Well, I
that
meant turning me
all
off.
the critters are like not our generation. Critters are like young millennials or Gen Z or whatever. So they're also going to give them, like, marketing wise, it's kind of like, hey, what does this generation want right now? And I don't know. I try to remember they're not really my age.
That's absolutely fair. And there's a point at which you ask, like, is it genuine, or now is it, is it conforming a little bit because it's a business? I mean, it's hard to. I'm not going to make any comments on that, because if I was in that position, I'd be doing the same fucking
right. If it's keeping the lights on and paying your staff, and staff
it's just unfortunate for some and unfortunate for others side effect of turning something like this into a business.
Sure.
I mean,
and it's happened. A lot of people
sometimes
put their game online just because it seems fun, and then if it takes off, then everybody's like, "Hey, what are you doing? This was supposed to just be fun."
I do it mainly to promote the pay-to-play experience. I want people to have a record to go and see. If I do this pay-to-play experience, what am I getting? And if they go watch either the Monday night game or the Sunday night game, they get to make that decision on their own. They don't have to take on the risk of I'm going to pay for this session and it's going to be shit.
That makes sense,
right? So that was the main reason why I started that the in-studio game was fun for my wife. She just wants to play D&D, but now I'm at a point where I want to start to promote an in-studio table for a long-term campaign. And to be honest with you, a lot of the players that drop in and out of the studio game are just kind of flaky. I want to find people that are looking for an escape. I want to find people that are looking for that true 3 hours of just leaving their lives behind. They make the time to want to come and play and do it. And to be honest with you, free games don't bring good players. I'm not going to lie. Free games don't bring good players. My pay-to-play games, every single player is dedicated. They're having a blast. They feel invested. They absolutely love the 3 hours they get to play. Watching Charles play a halfling cleric bard is just so much fun. And you can tell that Charles is very familiar with old school D&D, and he's having a lot of fun. I want to see people have fun. Yeah. And up to now, my live studio games, only my wife and her girlfriend Carolyn are really having fun in those games.
Man, I so wish that I lived out there close enough to you to play an
Hey, man, the way Illinois is going, I mean, you may want to come to the Independent Republic of California. We got a place for you, bro.
Hey, I've said, as soon as you guys finally get off your ass and form your own country, I'm fucking there, dude.
We're there, baby. We're there, baby. We got this. We got this.
And on that note, we did it again.
Did we really do it again?
Yeah,
Holy
it was
shit,
a all Critical Role
that was an
all
hour.
the time episode.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
I'm glad. No, you know something? I'm glad you did, because I actually wanted to talk about it. I swear to God. But I wasn't sure if I should just bring it up out of the blue. So I'm glad that you did. I will say
it was either that. The only two things I've done in the last week are watch the new Critical Role and listen to the new Taylor Swift album on repeat. And I didn't think you guys wanted to talk about Taylor Swift. I absolutely love the new Taylor Swift
album. I'm a little disappointed in her new album. I love it.
I love it.
I love a couple of the songs.
I love them all. It's a non-skipper for me. I love them all.
I think it's indicative of somebody who is now getting married, and she no longer can kind of write the cool gaslighting songs I love about, my record collection is better than my boyfriend's record collection. I love that kind of back and forth angry Taylor Swift. That was a lot of fun.
I think there's a lot of interesting hidden stuff in those lyrics though that are still very. It's just that she's not sad anymore. She's happy now. But there's still a lot of interesting, really play on words in there. I think she's a lyrical genius, honestly.
I agree. She's a lyrical genius. I was hoping for something.
Let me know when you're done.
Hey, Brian, where can we find?
I just want to say this. I will make a point to watch both these episodes by next Thursday night.
Yeah, he says that a lot.
No,
Maybe
I will.
Watch
you want the money on it? I will bet you $1 American.
It won't be worth anything by the time.
Yeah, it won't be worth anything by the time that goes through.
I will bet you £1 British pound.
It won't be worth
bet you $1 ruble. I will bet you a ruble.
50 rupees.
Ruples. Hey, Brian, where can we find you?
You can find me at RPG and Co on some channels, Instagram most prominently. Also, check out the website at playrpgandco.com. Shoot me a DM. I love talking about game stuff. I have some opinions now and again that I love sharing. So
he does. He does. Kristen, where can we find you?
You can find me at Kristen's Epic Adventures on both YouTube and TikTok. That's still around somehow.
And Jason, what about you?
You can find me over at ttrpgacademy.life or over on Linktree. If you want to look at my socials and see how normal I used to be a year ago when I was posting there, feel free. It's now a historical archive. I can't even remember the last time.
It's now
I went onto my socials. However, you can always find me on Discord. If you want to have a chat, if you want to learn how to play a game, if you want to talk about Toolbox, if you want to take one of my workshops, find me over on Discord. I love talking to people about the game. And I actually have a workshop set up with the bearded DM. Bearded nerd,
Brian, the
bearded nerd. Yeah.
Nice.
So awesome. I've got a workshop set up with him on Tuesday. I'm going to show him how to use OBS Tailspire and up his online game because he wants to get fully into the idea of the professional GM. So,
hey, when are you doing that? Tuesday?
Probably Tuesday around 6:45, I believe.
Can I join you guys?
Maybe. Brian the Bearded Nerd. 6:45 should be fine. So yeah. Cool. Tuesday 6:45. Jump on in. We're gonna.
I gotta check with my players to see if we're playing Tuesday night or Wednesday. If we're playing Wednesday, I'd love to. That'd be awesome.
Hey Brian, TPK.
Tell a story, Jason.
Kristen.
And be kind.
First you gotta play a game.
I only know about the be kind part. That's why
her lines, Jason. That's your line.
You only rely on me.
Brian, TPK.
Tell a story, Jason.
Play a game. And Kristen?
Be kind.
Good night, everybody.